The WhoThatDaily.com. That's right. The WhoThatDaily.com. One stop shop. Everything Saint Pelican, LSU Tigers, even top flight boxing. So if you're you looking for a place, stay up. Your team. WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport. Who that? All of
Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report. Big ups to the fam. We up in this thing for a special Wednesday stream. Much love to the flock. We salute the flock in this installment of the Pelican post-game report entitled Jaxson Hayes Police Vid was released. We got it. And D'Antoni signing and more on today's live stream. I'm Big Q chiming in the piece. Appreciate all the flockers being in a flocking place. Much love to you guys and appreciate you spending your Wednesday afternoon with us at the Pelican Post-Game Report. So I salute you guys. Appreciate you for being here. Please smash upon the like button. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber and hit that bell as well as we keep this thing going. I'm Big Q chiming in with my co-host, my dog, DC. How you doing, brother?
Yo. Doing all right, Q. A lot going on in the Pelicans world there, man. It's a lot to process, Jaxson Hayes thing was you just don't like to see that, man. Kind of turned my stomach looking at that a little bit, and guess I had good reason to be suspicious of the police, as we all usually are in these current times.
You called it, DC.
Yeah, man. I mean, the dude ain't never got no trouble, man. For him to just come out the blue, I'm sure he probably got an argument or something happened with his girl, but that don't justify what we saw in that video. So.
Well, let's get right into it, DC. Let's jump right into it, man, and get into the video, man, because that's one of the things that I won't cover on today's Pelican Post-Game Report. As we look at the video, this is coming from TMZ. Police Hayes arrest, and of course they have the footage of it. The police launch excessive force investigation. Video shows that Jaxson was tased on the ground. You can see the guy here with his hand on him, all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And we're going to play the video in a minute. Let's read the article. TMZ Sports has obtained video showing the controversial arrest of New Orleans Pelican center Jaxson Hayes, an incident LAPD is now investigating for possible use of excessive force. The clip starts with 21-year-old Hayes, the number 8 overall pick in 2019's draft, tussling on the ground with 3 police officers who are attempting to control and cuff Jaxson. One of the cops presses his taser against Pelican center's chest and shocks him. Backup eventually arrives and the video shuts off as the man recording is approached by the police. Hayes was ultimately taken into custody around 3 a.m. before being treated at a local hospital for minor injuries sustained during the altercation. He was charged with resisting arrest and posted a $25,000 bond. On Tuesday, the LAPD chief Michael Moore announced the department launched an investigation into the arrest after Hayes alleged force was applied to his neck, causing difficulty breathing. It's important to note that the video we obtained starts with Jaxson on the ground and the taser against his body. TMZ Sports did not edit the starting point of the video. However, what happened before the video starts rolling is critical because cops say Hayes is the one who started and escalated the physical confrontation. Police claim when they arrived on the scene, Hayes attempted to enter the home despite their commands before he ultimately shoved an officer, injuring him. They said that, quote, body-worn video captured Hayes repeatedly attempting to enter the residence despite officers blocking his path and verbal commands for him to remain outside, end quote, police said in statement. Now, quote, officers requested a backup and they attempted to place Hayes' hands behind his back. However, Hayes broke free of the officer's grasp and pushed one of the officers into a wall. Now, Hayes is 6'11", 220 pounds, who signed a 3-year, $15 million deal in 19, averages 7.5 points and 4.3 boards in the season for the Pels. Now, of course, this is the video that we have, and let's play it for the family. Here we go. All right, that's the footage right there. As you family members can tell right here, it's really intriguing to see that police rush in. And what's intriguing is the guy was not doing anything. He was basically filming it, and they tackled him and tackled him to the ground with the camera. So that's not a good way. But then again, the LAPD don't have a good reputation as well dealing with such matters, man. So more of the same seems to be happening. It appears that no matter what group or where you come from, monetarily speaking, or anywhere else in the world, if you're in the wrong circumstance, this is what occurs. And this guy is an NBA player, a multimillionaire, and this is what happens. So I mean, we gonna see what they say with their body cameras, because they got that footage to release after the investigation. But would say you flock, we're gonna let that's very, very, and just terrible, man, that they run in after the guy with the camera. Camera ain't doing nothing. They tackled him because he has incriminating evidence.
Well, he doing a lot. He documenting what's really happening. That's a criminal offense, Big Q. When we want to write the police report up to say what we want to say, what had happened, we don't want it to actually show, and that don't reflect in the police report that we wrote. But the one thing I will say, glad that the brothers are right, and he only came out there with minor injuries. He was in the wrong for putting his hands on them, obviously, but it should never have escalated to this. And they were completely all the way off in the wrong for putting their hands on him. Like, you're trying to go into someone's residence and you don't have a warrant. That's not legal. Jaxson Hayes understood his rights, and they mistook him for, I guess, just a regular citizen or person who may have not acted or standed their ground on their rights. They're not obligated to enter your property. You can't just go in my house without my permission if you don't have a warrant. Ain't that the right? Now, if you want to detain me there, or we sit here and all of this while you go get a warrant printed up to be able to go in my house, y'all, they have the right to do that, right? I think they can detain you for so long or whatever till they can obtain a warrant. Maybe I'm incorrect on that, but I know they can't just go in your house. So he was in his right for saying that he didn't want to let them in there. I don't know if he hit a woman or not, but I will say when the police went in there, they said she didn't comply. She did not comply with them and did not want them to be in their business or of whatever happened. Mm-hmm. So we really won't know what happened because she's not talking and Jaxson Hayes ain't talking about that. So hopefully nothing like that happened. You know what I'm saying? All we can talk about is what we saw and what we know happened. And it's sad, bro. I mean, it's ridiculous that it got to get to this point to where somebody who's unarmed, then you clearly got him detained already. And you're doing all this extra stuff. They had cuffs on him, you know what I'm saying? And you got him on the ground already. You're still roughing him up. The man asking you his badge number. You pull out a taser and you want to tase him for that. Then they rough up the person on the video. It's all type of horrible for them, bro. Them bastards going to pay for that. And Jaxson Hayes probably going to walk off with a little bit of nothing. But, he's in the wrong for putting his hands on them. So they're going to find a way to give him some type of probation or some fine or something he going to have to deal with, community service, something, because he actually put his hands on them too. So it's just sad that we live in a time where this is even a thing. You know what I'm saying? These people are on our payroll. We pay them. Like, you are servants to the people. You're not supposed to be acting as wardens and rulers over the people. You know what I'm saying? You're an employee of me. I pay you. So how you gonna come in my residence at my house, try to put your feet up all on my couch like you Rick James dirtying it up and do what the hell you won't do, and I pay you? That don't make no goddamn sense, man. So, hopefully them dudes get suspended or whatever and get dealt with for this, fired, whatever it may be. Because I mean, this shit gotta stop. Like, luckily, this incident didn't turn out like a lot of the rest of them we saw. Where it didn't escalate to something more violent or where somebody lost their life or was seriously injured. Like a lot of things I seen where I came from, and a lot of stuff I know that happened to people I love. I lost one of my friends last year to the police. Killed him, shot him in the back. So this is something that happened every day, all the time. You know what I'm saying? And the shit gotta stop.
Yeah, this is it's ridiculous, man, and it's a definite admission of guilt for them to tackle the cameraman, and that's a policy because the police are being told what to do. That's a policy. Don't let nobody record you out there doing what you do and all this because it screws up their cases. Because for them to do what they're gonna do, this throws a monkey wrench in their situation. I wonder if they even be an investigation if it wasn't for the video that ultimately would have been released, showing that there was excessive force with them tackling. There's 2 or 3 of them on them and grabbing them and choking them and tagging.
Big Q, hold up. I got maybe you can answer this question. Robert Hudson says it's domestic violence call. They don't need shit to come on, man. What you think about that, brother? Because I mean, if that's the case, then anybody could just call the police on anybody and say they heard a woman scream, and so they just run in your house.
I mean, that's my interpretation of it is that if it's a domestic call, and of course, according to the stuff I was reading, that they heard a woman yelling, and if they're hearing a woman yelling on tape and they're saying a woman yelling, more than likely they're not going to leave until they make sure that the scene is calm.
Mm-hmm.
But from my understanding, the event, Jaxson tried to gain entry when they said no, don't, whatever. He's here.
I hear 2 different stories though. One they saying
trying to stop him, and one saying that
right.
the police stopped him from going back in.
They say the police got in his house and wouldn't allow him to come in his house.
Right.
And then another story says he wouldn't allow them to go in his house. So
well,
which one is it?
The police story says that they wouldn't allow him in, and he pushed his way into the house when they were saying, nope, stay out here until we find out what time it is. You see what I'm saying? And that probably what triggered him, if that's the truth. We won't know until it all comes to a head and we find out the details because it's still being investigated. But it'd be interesting to find out what the other video says that'll corroborate whether the police were telling the truth or not, because they have the body cameras on, according to the information that they're saying. They're reviewing the body camera footage of the police officers showing that Jaxson Hayes was belligerent to them, according to what they're saying. So, like I said, and even if that was the case, whoever was the yelling in the house, she refused to cooperate. What they did was she got on code with Jaxson. Jaxson got on code with her. If they had a dispute, or whatever happened, nothing was ever said about what was going on with Jackson's lady or his girlfriend or whatever. There was nothing saying that she was battered or or bruised or what have you. None of that is still not available.
So they were just arguing, probably.
If it was, then don't you, perhaps that would have been a part of the initial report that they were saying she was bruised or battered, but they're still under investigation. So this will come to a head sooner or later. So, I mean, it's just, but the issue is how it all, would deal with the guy outside with the camera. How they, whatever, if you don't put that down, what's going to happen to you, like what's happening to him, which means you're going to be tackled and tased and all that for having the phone and recording your ass. Now that's not how it's supposed to go. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't, because listen, we understand you're right on the police service. We got Brother Jonathan and other family members and B Jizzle that know the code. They know how, and they seen some stuff so they can educate us. But but we also know that how to conduct yourselves and what you need to do and knowing your rights. All that's a big part of it. So I invite the flock to know the rights, just like they know this this basketball, like they know about the Pelicans, like they know about the NBA. We're supposed to be astute on that as well. So we're gonna revisit this story as well a little later on when we do it. Now look, there go Brother Jonathan right there. See, the police is able to go into the house. They were called there. Thank you, Brother Jonathan.
Okay. Good Brother Jonathan, clear that up. We know he right.
Yeah, he gonna be there. So we'll revisit this at another time, but we'll see how it all goes, man, down the line. So Rob, I
And,
hear you,
and
Rob.
I want to do something uncommon and just give a shout out to the police that's not like that. Like brother Jonathan. And I actually got pulled over yesterday, man. And dudes talked to me regular. I ain't getting no ticket, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And everything was cool. So all of them aren't like that. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that are, man, they put a bad name just on that whole system, which could, in theory, it's a very good system. Who wouldn't want to call somebody and be able to get help if you need help? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, with situations that I'm accustomed to, that I've seen in my life, they turn out like Jaxson Hayes. So
Yeah, and that's a part of it, Benny. You're right. I've seen the cases that they do turn the body cameras off. They're not supposed to, but they'll say they don't work. Like remember the case of Marshawn Lattimore? We covered this on the Sports Coma when one of the top, I don't know if he was the captain or whatever, was out there with the Cleveland PD and talking about my body camera don't work and all this kind of old stuff. But it's kind of a flawed system in my opinion because it was set up where if you go out there, we won't check on and see what you do. But some of them do turn them damn cameras off. Let's be real. Let's keep it real. But anyway,
right.
let's move on to the next story. We'll revisit this family because this is not over with. Moving ahead with Jaxson Hayes, but the video is intriguing, man. So we'll just keep an eye out. Now, the next news note that we're going to cover on the show, family, is of course the signing of this man to the fray, DC, Mr. Mike D'Antoni and Jarron Collins are a part of Mr. Willie Green's head coach Willie Green's coaching staff. And this was coming from our friend of the show, Ali Cosell, as D'Antoni's offensive genius and Collins spending the last 2 seasons as the Golden State defensive coordinator should be a big boost. So New Orleans Pelicans had added Mike D'Antoni and Jarron Collins to the coaching staff. D'Antoni will serve as in this consultant role, as well. Thank you, Manny. Manny Branch, thank you for your super
Thank
chat,
you,
my friend.
brother.
Appreciate you, Manny. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. All right, let's put Manny on the screen right there, man. Let me see if I can pull up Manny's super sticker there and show him some love. Thank you, Manny. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. All right, let's finish up the article, fam. All right, will serve as a consultant, DC. So to the role,
All right.
while Collins will become a lead assistant to Coach Willie. Okay, now this is intriguing because the lead assistant we were thinking Teaspoon and Freddie V, but it's now Jarron Collins will have the lead assistant role. Now the two adjoining assistant coaches, Casey Hill, Fred Vinson, Teaspoon, along with player developmental coaches Corey Brewer, Darnell Lazar, and Bino Udrich on Green staff. Looks similar
Well,
to
Willie Green actually got to bring some of his own people.
that he did. This is a cohesive group of high character individuals with diverse backgrounds and skill sets, said Green. I'm confident that their coaching and playing experience at the highest professional and collegiate levels, combined with their work ethic and team focused approach, will help build the foundation that we need to be successful. And that's coming from Coach Green. And B Scoop was first reported to Collins hire on Twitter. How about that? Getting a little credit for him. Now, D'Antoni has stood on NBA sidelines since '97, only taking a break during the 01-02 season when he went to Italy and guided that team to in Italy. Now, D'Antoni is the most famous for his 7 seconds less teams in Phoenix, helping guide Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Joe Johnson,
Thank
Sean
you,
Marion.
Scooby Do it. I think I said your name right.
Scoop,
Do
thank you,
it to
pimpin'.
it.
Thank you, pimpin'. Thank you, pimpin'.
That's cool. All right. What's up, School?
He says Sixers are my squad, but supporting my brother from another mother, Big Q, make it do what it do. Thank you. Thank you, Scoop. Appreciate you for your super chat, my brother. Much love to you. All right, now to finish up, D'Antoni is credited with immensely popularizing the running gun style. How about that, DC? And one important detail to note besides the offensive genius, D'Antoni is very familiar with David Griffin. Now, we all know that while D'Antoni is known as a known commodity in NBA circles, Jarron Collins is not. After his playing career ended, and he subsequently worked for the Clippers as a scout during the 2013-2014 season, Collins joined the Warriors as a player development coach for the following campaign, coinciding with the debut of Steve Kerr era in Golden State. Now, Collins will go on to remain with the Warriors for another 6 years, elevating to an assistant coach in 2015 and then to defensive coordinator in 2019. However, he and the Warriors mutually parted ways this past June so he could pursue head coaching and associate head coaching opportunities, according to Mark Spears. Now, with that being said, that, as mentioned above, Collins' forte is defense, and he quickly established a decent track record. Although the Warriors finished 26th in defensive rating during that 2019-2020 season, there were a discernible, there was some discernible improvements in the campaign before Golden State improved to fifth this past year. Now, of course, they had injuries that they were dealing with that kind of skewed it, but Draymond Green lauded Collins, saying that he's a effing phenomenal game plan on the national stage. Collins had thought one of the most explosive scorers in NBA history, provided a blueprint for other teams to limit Harden. While relatively new to the culture rank, Collins has learned how to develop smart game plans and stopping opponents during the course of his long playing career. So with that being said, they add D'Antoni and Collins to the fray, DC. Let's talk about this because this was a big move for the Pelicans to make, to add D'Antoni to the mix. And I think listen, man, this was pretty cool, man, because a lot of people did not see this coming.
Wait, hold up, Big Q. You missed the whole important line in the whole.
Did I?
Yeah. What Steve Kerr said about Jarron Collins, right? He had an interesting statement that he said about him.
Is this okay? Here it is. He's an excellent coach and a wonderful. Oh my goodness, man! You made me come back to this to read this. What's going on with these people keep talking about wonderful
Steve Nash?
What is going on?
They're human beings, not Steve Kerr. But if I hear Willie Green call somebody a wonderful goddamn human being, Q.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's talk about that. D'Antoni added to the mix. He's going to be a consultant, DC, with Willie Green's staff, and of course, Jarron Collins, not Freddie V, not Teaspoon, but Jarron Collins as the lead assistant. Let's go over this.
Man, I don't think what better option could we have gotten, man? I think this is a perfect match of what they're trying to do. They got somebody who they know is going to excel at offense. Let's be honest. D'Antoni and his system, and as a coach, he ain't winning no championships, right? He can't get out the second round, a lot of people say. But his offense, man, I mean, it changed the generation, bro. I remember that Phoenix team and the NBA you looking at right now. It came on the back of that team, man. Phoenix changed the whole game with how they played. You know what I'm saying? And everybody tried to replicate that after. So if you can find a way to mesh a lot of the good things from the D'Antoni system, the version of it that I saw in Phoenix, not so crazy about what I saw him do with Harden, even though I get it, and he made it work with the pieces he had for his Harden and Westbrook. I think he'll find a way to kind of help to implement a system that will work for Zion and Brandon Ingram. So super excited about that, and then you turn around, we hire a coach whose expertise is defense, and then he goes back to the well. Oh, shout out BMC Craig.
BM McCray.
BM McCray.
B McCray.
B McCray. All right, there we go. I can't read names from that.
Appreciate you.
But I appreciate the $9.99. Now you got to say the $9.99. We're a penny short of 10, but I gotta love it though.
Thank you, brother.
Right, but he goes back to the well where he came from, man, and he goes get the best defensive guy that he had there with the Warriors, a guy we may have not been familiar with. There was an older guy there, I believe, that they considered a great defensive mind who Jarron Collins set up under all of that time, and he wound up taking over for him. And now we get that guy here along with Willie Green. So one thing is evident to me. We can see how the whole thing will work out with D'Antoni and the offense and see what they do to that. But we know these guys can score. So it's really just fine-tuning stuff and get it to be more efficient and work better together with whatever they want to do with Zion. But I'm intrigued by Collins and what he's done defensively with the Warriors and the credit that they've given him, and what we seen Willie Green help Monty Williams do with the Suns. And you put those two guys together, and they help and mold this Pelicans team, man. So all this defensive stuff that we're afraid of and we're worried about, maybe they create a system where it's just built into the system. And, you don't have to have Brandon Ingram be the best defender or Zion be the best defender. We're going to run a system where it's very switchable. And they might go with the mantra of strength in numbers, the same way the Warriors went with. So it's all about team defense. And a lot of times to have team defense and be good at team defense, you don't necessarily have to be the best defender on the floor. You just have to know what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be at, and just be good enough to not let people abuse you and be in your areas and help when you're supposed to. And you can have a formidable defense. So I'm anticipating on us being way better than 23rd. And I mean, if we can sneak into, like that above 15, 12 range, 15 and up, job done, Big Q.
Yeah, I think it's a terrific hire, man, as well, because the question was asked to the okay, we got Willie now. What kind of system we seeing right here? What we gonna do here? And of course, we look at Phoenix, and of course, a lot of fun times we seen with D'Antoni operating with Phoenix, running Steve Nash and Stoudemire and that system out there was, a lot of success. But the issue with D'Antoni's style of system, of course, we're not saying that Willie runs that to the T or verbatim, but he will have some involvement in orchestrating that offense to a degree, or putting it together.
Well, they say he's gonna be kind of with the team, but away from the team.
Right.
So he got him a plus job where he can just kind of come in and say a few things, and he go back on vacation.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
He is set up to kind of make sure the offense is guided to where they're supposed to be. They're balanced or operating or moving in a direction so they can be. And listen, D'Antoni's biggest thing, he's going to get points for you. Now, we familiar with that style of system because we had the red-eyed one here running a mockery or mock style system of when D'Antoni. So we said, you know what? Why get this drunken guy? Let's go over here and get the guy that orchestrated.
Carl say we're gonna be at least the 5th seed with all these great human beings, bro.
Oh, absolutely, Carlton. What else could we be? We most certainly can't be the base of the NBA, can't we? I mean, we got to be at the top. We got so many great human beings. Carlton, we leading the NBA in great human beings. Did you know that? I bet you know it now, my friend. Man, but yeah, that's intriguing though to see it. And of course, the other hire.
Where are all these deceitful aliens at? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Bro. We got all these great human beings. Where's all the deceitful aliens?
One of them running the Pelicans VP job right now. That's what you want to take a look at. It. That's a deceitful one if I ever known one. But DC, I think D'Antoni.
Who him? D'Antoni? You got a picture of D'Antoni? Or you talking about David Griffin?
No, I'm talking about, there you go. I'm talking about him running the Pelicans.
Octa Griffin. Octa Griffin.
Dr. Octopus. That's what you call it. Doc Ock. That's what you call it. But listen, we go back to this. But this is the thing. D'Antoni is a good piece in this one. But Jarron Collins, to me, is a bit of the news story with him operating the defense of being called the defensive coordinator from the Pelicans. So, I mean, this is the guy, DC, that we need to talk about.
Appreciate you go off, brother. Thank you for the $10, man. Appreciate all the love y'all showing, bro.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Much love. And let's talk about Collins in the part of it, DC. Now, then the article and Ali Kosel, we're gonna bring him back at some point to kind of talk about what he thinks about this stuff. But Collins running the defensive coordinator position, for the Pelicans. What does that look like? Can Collins get the Pelicans inspired to play defense the way we need to be a balanced team? Because if we get a consultation from D'Antoni, I know the offense is going to be lit, but the defense is my concern, man.
Yeah, man. From everything I hear about Collins, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I looked into him a lot. I'm just finding out this, like a lot of us here, and just analyzing the article, man. They talked about him being funny, being intelligent, being a carefree type guy. And when I think about it, you look at that Warriors team, man, and you look at the fact that he was a scout for the Clippers from 2013, 2014. They had a lot of success. You look at the Warriors team since he came on board, they had a lot of success. He was the defensive assistant for the Warriors last year, took over in 2019 for the assistant that they had before. Didn't do so well 2019 with all the injuries, but last year they was 5th in defense. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of success there. So I think the guys that they hired, it seems to be we're taking a younger approach. The oldest guy you got in D'Antoni, and they kind of giving him like a backseat role, like you said, to kind of guide things and from the background. So to me, man, I'm gonna be honest. If we had the players that we want to have, we'll be shouting for joy right now. This would be the best thing since sliced bread. But because we're still trying to figure out what our starting lineup is going to be, it's a little, well, what's this going to do? Is this going to change everything? You know what I'm saying? Is this going to fix it? It's a step in the right direction. These are not the wrong moves. I was a little curious of wondering whether it was the straight or the gay brother. He's obviously the straight one. I don't know what the other one. What's Jaxson Collins? I don't know what he's doing. But I remember when you called me, we had that mix up. But we found out that it was
I forgot they were twins.
Jarron Collins. Yeah, they're twins.
Yeah, they're twins.
And even so, even if he was the gay brother or whatever, man, you're good at your job. You're good at your job.
Right, man. I don't care about that.
Yeah, it don't matter. But I would say I would think about that because you don't know how some players may feel about that. But that ain't the case. So you got Willie Green, who's younger. You got him, who's younger. He's the lead assistant. You got Freddie V, who's still there that they all like. You got Teresa Weatherspoon, who's there they all like. You got Corey Brewer, who's younger. The other two guys, I know one of them is 38 years old. You know what I'm saying? So they went with a whole young squad, man. And I think they'll be able to relate to these guys. And y'all know how it is. You worked on jobs. I mean, I understand we look at this differently because we got a lot of passion for the team. They love playing ball, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like a job for them. So when you're working somewhere and you have a supervisor or a manager, if you're not the supervisor or manager, and you got one of them, they're just kind of telling you what to do, and they got all the paperwork, and you need to do this by this time, and blah, blah, blah. That's Stan Van Gundy. Then you got your other coworker who come in there. They don't get on you too much. You know what I'm saying? It's, when you see them, you're like, oh, man, it's going to be a good day. They ask you to do something, you do it. Why? Because they only ask you to do stuff when they need to get done. You know what I'm saying? They're not all on top of you. They're not all getting on your nerves. And I think this is kind of like a similar situation, man. They're going to have guys that they communicate with them, they can relate to them, and they probably going to take what they got to say to heart more because it'll be more of a friendship instead of a dictatorship. Thank you, Sean. Castro.
Appreciate
I'm messing everybody's names up.
Let's
go Pels, though, dog. Let's go Pels.
I think DC needs some glasses.
I know. I'm about to say that. I might need some glasses or something.
Yeah, you might have to call. Might have to call the Jamaican hotline, brother, and have them send you glasses.
But that's all right, Big Q, because Mystic says I'm a wonderful human being.
That's true. That is very true. We all are. We lead the league. All that matters is he's a wonderful human being. There you go. There you go. Y'all get the hang of it pretty quick. All right. Before we move to stories, Brother Damon says, I understand Willie Green is young, but the last time we hired somebody coming from a championship organization was Gentry. We saw how that turned out. Just curious what you think.
I don't think you could look at it like that. Everybody, I remember specifically what I was doing when they said they hired Gentry. Matter of fact, I heard it on the radio. I was riding from Slidell in my car. It was a sunny day outside. I remember some point during the day or before that, I was wondering who was the Pels going to hire to be their head coach. And I heard on the radio that it was Alvin Gentry. Those championship rings or ring he got did not cross my mind. I was immediately disappointed. So I don't think it has anything to do with whether you come from a championship team or not. I think it just has to do with who it is. You know, who the coach is. You kind of get an idea of what they've done, and then you can kind of see possibly what they'll do in the future. And I'm gonna be honest, man, I like Willie Green, like him a lot. And they got Mike D'Antoni to help him out offensively. His thing is defense, and he went and got his boy that he worked with the Warriors that he know could help him turn his defense around. So I don't see, why it should be something that we skeptical about or a little nervous about. It seems to be, a layup. 1, 2, 3 to me. It makes sense. It adds up. Another thing. Wait, what they say about Jamaica? Where your home in Jamaica? Man, y'all know goddamn well. I can't be in Jamaica, man. Y'all see, I have COVID tests coming out my nose right now. If I was coming back and forth from Jamaica.
Not if you use that entertainer's pass.
That who?
The entertainer's pass.
Okay, explain.
The entertainers passed.
I don't know nothing about that.
All the Marlies got it.
Oh man, that is man. I knew the other shoe was gonna drop. I wasn't gonna say nothing until you did it because you were gonna do it while I was talking.
I'm just saying. I mean, all the Marlies got the pass. That's how they even go and perform.
All right,
You ain't got it?
No, I'm not a Marley.
No.
We gonna keep playing this game, huh?
Every day.
But another thing I want to point out, man. I guess we can kind of segue and they got a lot of free agents out there, and I'm wondering, y'all could tell me in the chat what y'all think. Willie Green went back to the Golden State Warriors, and he got his boy Jarron Collins, right, from the Golden State Warriors. There's a player in free agency, not only played at the Golden State Warriors, played some good defense, he also played at the Phoenix Suns with Willie Green. And he's a New Orleans native.
Connections.
Kelly Oubre Jr. is still out there.
That's who you're going to go with? I
didn't
Kelly.
say whether I'm going to go with him or not. I like Kelly.
I think Kelly wants to get paid, though, DC.
But he's out there. He played his best ball under Willie Green when he was over there with Willie Green and mine. Not this year, but last year. Played some of his best ball. You know what I'm saying? The last 15, 20 games of the season, he shot 40% from three. Everybody thinking he can't, get his three ball down. He kind of got acclimated and figured that out. Still sitting out there in free agency, man.
Well, let's cover some of that, DC, because let's go from one Green to another, because this is the next one to shoot a drop, and they're talking about
Pelicans know the Irish moss. Yeah, man.
Y'all heard them, man. But this is the thing, though, DC. This is the rumor.
Wait, hold on. Kelly want $90 million for 4 years. Good grief!
I told you he wants to get paid.
Who gonna pay him that?
The Pelicans. Not really. Danny Green is rumors, and this is coming from Bleacher Report, introducing that they're inquiring about Danny Green. The Lakers.
Wait, hold up, man. Call Oubre and give him the $90 million, bro. Before they mess around and give Danny Green $15 million this year. Good Lord.
This is
Danny
the one.
Green. This is what we gonna go for? Don't we got Garrett Temple? I think one old veteran that ain't gonna give us a lot of production is enough.
Well, I mean, I said that they're not done yet. I had that feeling because, of course, they acquired Graham, and I was saying to myself, I don't think they're done yet. I think they're looking for a two guard to go along with Graham, and then of course the rumors came out that they inquired about Danny Green, as a veteran too that might be in. So let's go into the article. Multiple teams, including the Lakers, have reportedly shown interest and free agent Danny Green. According to ESPN's Jordan Schultz, the Lakers, Celtics, and Pelicans and Cavs are among teams believed to be in on Green. 34-year-old Green is quintessential 3-and-D who has played for 4 different teams over the past 4 seasons, including the Sixers and 20. I'm not excited about him, but in 69 games last season, he averaged 9.5 points, 4 rebounds, 1.7 on the assists, 1.3 on the steals. He also made 41.2% of his attempts from the field and 40.5% from beyond the arc, while matching his career high of 2.5 3-pointers per game. Now, while the Sixers
that's his career high.
It says right here, sir, in
2.5 3-pointers per game is his career high.
Career high, 2.5 3-pointers is according to the article.
Wow.
Now, and I didn't know he shot this well last year, to be honest with you, in 69 games last season. He stunk in the playoffs, but in terms of, I mean, when he was with the Lakers, that is. But this is actually interesting numbers. While the Sixers got knocked out in the second round of the playoffs, Green was a part of the championship team each of the previous 2 seasons with the Raptors in 2019, Lakers in 2020. After spending the first NBA season, 09 and 10 with the Cavs, Green had an 8-year run in San Antonio that saw him win a title there as well, giving him 3 championships for his career. Any contending team would benefit from Green's experience shooting and defense, while rebuilding teams could also use his presence to help develop young players. So the Pelicans are inquired about Danny Green. He doesn't excite me, but he does fit the 3-and-D mantra, DC, on him. I don't really excited, but I do like those numbers. 40+% shooting from downtown last year in 69 contests.
Yeah, but I don't really see it as being sustainable. I don't think he's the worst player you can get by any stretch of the imagination, but Danny Green is going to come with a price tag. That's why I'm like, we're not getting him for the same price we got Garrett Temple for. You know what I'm saying? He probably gonna want 10, $11 million a year, and he ain't worth that. Like that's my thing. Now, if he coming down here and you getting, a little $5 million contract or something like that, or $7 million for 1 year, okay, this is a little digestible. But I'm just not excited about Danny Green, bro. We need somebody who gonna defend.
I know.
So he's gonna be a 3 and D. He's more of a 3 and 3. He ain't a 3 and D no more. You know what I'm saying? And he don't always hit the threes. So I'm not really excited about that. I hope we don't do that. Please don't do that.
Big Q stop. Big Q stop. See, he don't want hit. I know, fam. It don't. Danny Green don't excite me. No, I don't want him, bro. But I'm just telling y'all what they're doing. They're inquiring about this guy, man. So we got to know. But let's go to DC's second favorite player on the planet because he really loves this guy, and this is great news for DC, but bad news for Josh Hart. As Didi Louzada, multi-year deal with the Pelicans. This happened, what was it, yesterday? Pelicans re-signed Brazilian guard Didi Louzada to a multi-year deal, as reported by Christian Clark. As expected, they declined his option last week, but the Pelicans are bringing back Brazilian guard Didi Louzada on a multi-year contract. On Tuesday, Louzada and the Pelicans agreed on a 4-year deal. ESPN first reported the news. Louzada was a second-round pick in 2019, spent a couple of years in Australia with the Kings before making the jump to the NBA in April. He appeared in 3 games with the Pelicans last season. In Australia, Louzada gained a reputation for his stout on-ball defense, and he has spent a significant portion of the offseason in New Orleans working with assistant Fred Vincent on fine-tuning his three-point stroke. How about that? Now, Louzada was one of 3 players from the Pelicans draft after trading Atlanta Hawks, the number 4th pick in 2019. In return, the Pelicans received the number 8, 17, and 35 picks, which they used on Jaxson Hayes, NAW, and Louzada, respectively. Now, Louzada averaged 8.8 points a game, 3.4 rebounds for Sydney last season, and turned 22 early this month. So Didi Louzada is a part of the Pelicans' long-range plans, it appears, as he signs a 4-year agreement to be with the Flock. DC, a happy man.
Didi for 3. Yeah, man. Good deal. Probably they ain't come out with the particulars of it, but I don't think they're gonna be to give him a lot of money. Nothing crazy. Y'all heard the man was here working with Freddie V all off season, so we're gonna get to see in 2 days. Y'all gonna see if I'm crazy or if Didi really is somebody good. Because when we first drafted him, this is I guess I really started liking Didi. I remember the summer league team, man. Them dudes could have won the summer league championship. In my opinion, if they were a little better conditioned, they would have won it. NAW ran out of gas. The man was just tired. He was carrying us. Didi was hitting some big shots, y'all. He's playing some hell of a defense. Jaxson Hayes was out there still trying to figure it out, but posterizing people and embarrassing them. You know what I'm saying? So you probably going to see an upgraded version of Didi in the summer league. See if that shot then got a little wetter. But he going to bring energy, effort, and intensity, man. And we might have another trick up our sleeve, and possibly Josh Hart might be a guy that, we move on from. And you see him giving Didi this 4-year contract, and you heard what Big Q said. It makes a lot of sense. When you do this, you give him 4 years, then you got Najee Marshall. I might be it for Josh Hart. You know what I mean? Maybe he spoke too soon and they took that seriously when he said he wanted out. He wanted to go somewhere else. Maybe the Pelicans are taking him up on that offer, man. And we maybe going after another guy. Maybe we go after a big guy. Still need a stretch for. Deal isn't complete. What if we find out that the Pelicans added Willie Markkinen into the Bulls deal? You know what I'm saying? What if the Pelicans go and get a guy like Harrison Barnes? Everybody talking about Buddy Hield. Well, Harrison Barnes is probably available too. What does he make? Probably about $22 million or $19 million or something like that. Right around what we can afford with the trade exemption in that deal. And you got Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley is a dookie. You know what I'm saying? So is Brandon Ingram and Zion. Maybe we get a 2-for-1. Get 2 of those guys. They want to get rid of Marvin Bagley. He wants out. I don't know. Buddy Hield, they've been shopping him forever. Harrison Barnes name's floating around. The Sacramento's trying to start all over, and maybe they're a team we're looking to deal with, or maybe it's somebody else who, I don't know, Buddy Hield. They've been shopping him forever. Harrison Barnes name's floating around. The Sacramento's trying to start all over, and maybe they're a team we're looking to deal with, or maybe it's somebody else who I don't know about. But with this deal, 4 years for Didi, to me, the writing is on the wall for a guy like Josh Hart. I don't see any way we give Didi 4 years, then keep Josh Hart, and then
There
we
you go.
sign Najee Marshall to that deal, and then we draft
Herb Jones.
Herb Jones. Well, Herb Jones, I don't think he affects Josh Hart, but
How you doing?
Trey Murphy the third definitely does, though. You know what I'm saying? I think
You working on that 3-point shot.
Well, Herb Jones, he can play. I don't expect him to play point guard with us, but he did whatever the hell they needed him to do at Alabama. But he's primarily like a power forward. He plays some spot minutes at center and stuff like that. A Draymond Green kind of archetype. That's what they compare him to. I don't see him, messing up Josh Hart, but Trey definitely does, man. Trey definitely. I still want Cam too, Sean, bro, but I don't think it's gonna happen, dog. That'd be too much, man. They can't give me Didi back and Cam, dog. That'd be too much. It'd be lit, but I don't think it's gonna happen. And Big Q ain't having it either. I don't know why you hate Cam Reddish so much.
I don't hate Cam Reddish. It's just you love him so much.
I don't love him like that. Like how you be trying to say. You always bring him up. I think you like him more than I do.
I did not bring Cam Reddish up in this discussion. You the one talking about Cam Reddish.
You know how to find his stats quicker than anybody I ever seen.
I am mocking you, sir. When I put that on the screen,
you keep
11 points a contest.
That's all right, Q. I know you be researching him when we off the show.
I hear you, DC. Yes, I do, brother. If he can play, let's put him on the squad.
Him and Zion are good friends.
I know you
might be better. They might be better friends than him and RJ Barrett.
You keep throwing that up there. I'm kind of
Lonzo Ball. You got rid of Lonzo Ball. Maybe you get him one of his friends.
Listen, how about this? Now, a lot of the family members is throwing out there a backup big. Besides, of course, we know about Jaxson Hayes. But how about a big man? Now, me and you talked about it. I threw Paul Millsap up there. You like he's washed. So I mean, I
said I wouldn't mind Paul Millsap, but I think we do better.
You did not say that.
You
did not say you don't mind Paul.
I said how much.
You said no.
Well, when we was talking, you ain't let me say much when we was talking. So
that is not true.
I don't think you heard the little bit I did say.
I heard everything you said. That is not what you said. Millsap. We mentioned Millsap. What about what's his name? DC. He was a top 3 pick. Jabari Parker. He's out there. Why not? I mean, he'll come cheap.
I don't think it'll hurt, but
he'll come cheap.
It'll come cheap. His impact is minimal, but I mean, he could get you.
No, he can ball. He can ball.
Some buckets off the bench.
He can ball. He can ball. I mean,
well, not that ain't. I mean, he always get hurt.
But right. But you got to minimize how you use Jabari Parker. But I mean, he's a cheap piece. But Paul Millsap, Jabari Parker, and of course, you mentioned Lauri Markkanen, which probably would be
Kelly Oubre. He does play power forward too.
I don't know, man. I want a real.
The Warriors took off when they started using him at power forward, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not the Warriors.
A small ball forward.
Well, a small ball forward is interesting, but how about that? Kim Birch is still out there. That's not bad. King Buckets.
I'm not familiar with Kim Birch. Who's he?
Birch is actually a pretty decent player, man. He was with Orlando, then he went on over to what was it, the Rockets? I won't say Kim Birch went over to. Let me pull Birch up. But yeah, that's not a bad move at all for Birch, man. To get him as well. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad move to land.
King Buckets, Jabari Parker. He don't play defense, bro. He don't play defense, so don't get your hopes up with that one. If he did play defense, he'd probably only be able to play 10 games.
Marquise Chris
hurt a lot quicker.
I mean, Marquise Chris.
I like Marquise Chris. I like him.
Well, you talk about what Q? Who would you like for a cheap option? And I threw out Trey Lyles, who's a 6'11" guy that shoots threes. And
I like Trey Lyles,
but he's gone. So I mean, let me pull up Birch here so that I can give his numbers up. But Birch is not a bad player, man. That'll be a smart pickup for the Pelicans.
I don't want Wiggins' money, Clarence. I mean, wouldn't be the worst player, but I don't want that contract with him. I think he's never outplayed or played up to his contract, in my opinion. But he's not a bad player at all.
Yeah, let me share it with share the family members. We can show Birch up on screen. I actually think that's a good idea, man.
Michael Green. Who's Michael Green signed with, Big Q?
Green is with Denver. Yeah, he went. Jermichael Green went to Denver.
A Mystic said we need to make sure that they're one of
Siakam says, Carl, I don't think we can get Siakam. I
Nah,
would
I
love
don't
to have
think we can get
Siakam. I think he's
Siakam.
I don't think they're letting him go easily.
Mystic said we need a wonderful human being who shoots 40%,
And,
plays D.
okay, he's okay. All right. My dog says he signed with the
Signed with the
Raptors.
Raptors.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 7
What
points,
about
6 rebounds.
the slim guy from the Raptors, man? He plays good D. I think they were shopping him. Good from the 3 too. He real slender, but he actually he'll block your shot though. He plays some good defense, man.
No,
Was it
no,
Duche?
no.
No, not Noel, man. He played for the Raptors. I think they were trying to trade him though. Boucher.
Oh, Chris what's his name? Chris
I think it might be
I know
Chris Boucher. You know what I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I know
Man,
who
I
you're
wonder if
talking
we could get him, man.
about. I don't know.
They was talking about trading him at one point in time. I don't know why.
I don't know if that's still on the table. But I know that there was some interest some while ago about that. I don't know. Boucher, yeah. Let me see if I could pull him up here. I remember Boucher. I don't think he's still. I'm not certain about him though. But he's a big man. He's about what how tall? 6'9", 200 pounds. He kind of
Yeah,
thin though.
he like, but I mean, but you know, it don't stop it. He played D though, man. He played D. He get you some
13.6 and
buckets
7
and he
rebounds.
played D, bro.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, I don't know if he's available, man. We have to look into him. Yeah. Haroon says Bobby Boucher. He's like, you're gonna get this guy. Yeah, I know. The water boy? No, not quite. This guy, he got him Boucher. Maybe pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, I like his game, man. When he played us, he gave us some problems, man. That was my first time really looking into him, trying to figure out who the hell this was, and then just checking him out throughout the season, man. That dude, he a player, bro.
Nah, James Johnson is gone to the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
He's off the table, man. That was what I was thinking, man. Is that I would have liked to have James Johnson back on the team. So it's intriguing. But anyway, let's keep it
Joe
moving.
Ingles is I keep hearing stuff about him could possibly be an option from Utah. Not a great defender, but he's okay. He shoot about 45% from 3. Get you about 5 rebounds, 5 assists off the bench. Joe Ingles, $15 million though. So they need to free up some money, bro. Pull him up, Q, before you shake your head. No, Joe Ingles is good, bro.
Too late, I already shake my head.
Well, unshake it, shit.
Unshake it. All right, okay. Let me pull up Ingles, man. It's Joe Ingles, man. Yeah. I know he a shooter, man.
You
but
familiar? You're gonna know him when you see him, bro. If you watch some Utah games.
Ingles.
You don't like Ingles?
Now he look like a math teacher. You don't play no defense though. He can shoot though. He can shoot though, but I mean, he defensively.
He's not that bad defensively. I mean, he ain't about to protect the rim or nothing, but he a good enough team defender, I think, for the second unit.
He'll knock your eyes out. Ain't no doubt about it, man. That's not a bad. He averaged 12 for you off the bench, so I'm not mad at Joe Ingles, man. I mean, but I'm thinking people are looking at a big man to back up Zion off the bench. I think that's one of the things that perhaps we can kind of look at, man. That's
what type of big? What he got to be? Just as strong as Zion or something? We just need somebody who play the 4.
We need a guy that can play defensive rebound, perhaps DC. That got a 3-point shot.
Man, the man gonna get you his little 4 rebounds off the bench. Q, that's all he needs.
12 points
coming off the bench. He efficient. You know what I'm saying?
But this is not a free agent though, is it? You talking about
but Utah is they got some problems with their salary cap, bro. You know what I'm saying? So they need to get off some money. I think we could get a guy like Ingles. I mean, he a little overpaid.
Hype says Joe a playmaker.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I've seen him play.
Joe Ingles dope, man. He a little overpaid for some people. I think his contract is probably like 14, 15 million a year or something like that.
Yeah, they did give him
that might be a little high for them, given they gave Mitchell all that money. Rudy Gobert got all that money, and then they brought Mike Conley back. You know what I'm saying? They probably looking to trim a little fat and try to go cheaper in the area too.
Right, and we got 2 more articles to cover, DC. Of course, this one's coming by way of Pelican Break.
When Gable is re-signed, Kenneth, like we had an option on him, so they haven't denied it as far as I know.
Pelicans 4 free agents still available. 4 free agent Pelicans are still available. that you could be looking at. And they're saying in this article by Kellen Strauss that Pelicans still have available cap space, and there are a number of NBA free agents worth pursuing. Pels have been willing and dealing this offseason, trading Bleeding Sore and Steven Adams for Valanciunas and working out a sign and trade to send Lonzo to the Bulls. They brought in Devontae Graham, who's a low-cost deal and should be a nice fit with Zion and BI. But the Pelicans still have a lot of cap space to play with and can add another impact free agent with some or all of it. Now, here's a list of some free agents that might be able to fit. NBA free agent Dennis Schroeder. It seems like the Lakers have signed just about every available free agent except their own guy. Schroeder, who now probably wishes he hadn't turned down that huge offer. Schroeder might not get what he's after. So if the Pelicans could get him on a cheaper deal than Lonzo got, then that might be some interest. He could slot in as the Pelicans starting point guard with N.A.W. Walker at the 2, which will put Graham on the bench. This will give the Pels a lot of scoring and depth, though the defense likely wouldn't improve much. I still think he's a long shot due to the contract, but it'd be a nice fit in with the Pelicans, according to Kellen Strauss. The next guy on the table is Justice Winslow. How about that? Justin Winslow became unrestricted free agent after the Memphis Grizzlies did not pick up his team option. Winslow isn't the splashiest name, but he does provide some of what the Pelicans need and will likely come at a low cost. Winslow can do a bit of everything. He can defend 3 positions, make plays, and grab rebounds. He isn't a good three-point shooter, so he doesn't help there, but he's the type of guy who does a little bit of everything to help a team win. I think he could be a player like Draymond who takes on tough defensive assignments and make plays from the forward position. He would be a low-cost option that will allow the Pelicans to continue to make moves. Let's go to the third guy. Of course, DC's guy, Kelly Oubre. Now, Kelly, there are a lot of things to like about Kelly Oubre as a free agent for the Pelicans. He's still young, can score from the wing, and has the size to defend a couple of spots. He's also from New Orleans and would be a fan favorite as a hometown guy. He came on last season for the Golden State Warriors and ended up averaging 15.4 points a game and 6 rebounds as a forward. The Pelicans could use some depth at the forward as Brandon Ingram is not a good defender, and they don't really have a complement for him right now, according to Kellen Strauss. Oubre could slot in at the starting 5 and give the Pelicans a huge lineup that was versatile defensively and really hard to match up on the offensive end. He might be the best option or available option as a two-way player who just is reaching his prime. And then finally, the score, Lauri Markkanen. Bulls have tied up a ton of money after trading for Ball, and I'm thinking DC something about this, man, about Markkanen, man. Yeah. I think something, and we had a few stories as we connect to it, not many of it, but it's just something about this with him and the Pelicans, and he's probably the best.
It makes sense, Q.
Make a lot of sense
because for them to just get Sarkansky back and Temple and a second round pick for Ball, you know what I'm saying? No, now that they got DeRozan, I'm wondering if it was like some talk about, if we could pull this off or do that, would you guys do this or whatever? I don't see them. Will they just keep Markkanen, man? I mean, it's gonna be kind of hard to fill out the rest of their team. They still need other stuff. They don't have no defenders at all. You know what I'm saying? They got Lonzo and Caruso, and then after that, I mean, you just hoping Zach LaVine improves. You got Williams. You done shipped off with Thaddeus Young is out of there. So I'm wondering, do we get Markkanen? You know what I'm saying? Or at least are they trading him to somebody else that at the least I think he's available. So they got to be doing something else with this trade. And maybe that was the reason we gave up that first round pick to Charlotte to try to create can we create like 2 slots for the MLE or like a trade exemption, and we can fit it in the MLE or something like that. There's a lot of people understand the cap better than I do. Big Q does, so I know he probably can comment on that or how that would work with the trade scenario if you're familiar with it. But maybe we didn't have or want to tie up all our money just trying to take Larry Markkanen back. Why would they not force them to do that, or at least threaten to re-sign Lonzo Ball?
I don't know, DC. I don't think. I think that's not over with yet. I think it's something else stirring up.
They pulling in somebody, bro. It's very obvious.
Yeah, something else gonna happen here, and I'm thinking by way of trade. If it's not Markkanen, I'm thinking Markkanen is the top of this list. I'm just gonna be honest. That's my feeling, instinctually speaking.
What are we gonna do defensively with a guy like Markkanen? We just gonna we gonna hope, the whole team defense. We got all these defensive guys that everybody's just gonna elevate their defensive play because of scheme.
That's what I was saying, man. I want a big, like another big off the bench that backs up Zion that could play defense. And
Go
I and
off. Go off. Said, what about Aaron Baines?
Baines wouldn't be bad. He's a
He can
big
shoot.
that
He can shoot
he can
threes.
shoot and he plays defense
He can
too.
play defense or get dunked on. Depending on what day it is.
Well, yeah, that this is true, but it's up to Jarron to kind of, Jarron or whatever, the defensive coach, to figure out how to best utilize these players. But I think marketing's in there. I'm gonna have to, look at my dog says. He said marketing is probably part of the official signing trade. The Pels trying to pull in another team with a player, the picks from the Pels, the players from the Grizz, the Bulls, Hornets, and the last team. Very well said, my dog. I think that is true, man. I think that's a part of it. That's my feeling, man. I could be wrong on that, but that's the feeling I got. That some kind of way, we were thinking about marketing. We knew they were interested in them and how that would look. But, like we're saying, that trade is still not completed.
I believe that they have to be doing something else after finding out that once they gave that pick up to Charlotte, we can't give any more picks up until like after 2023 far as our picks. So for them to do that and kind of put all our stuff on pause for us being able to swing for the fences for a big player.
Jason, that's a good call. Kayvon Looney.
Yeah. Would the Warriors give him up?
I don't know. He just re-signed with them, but maybe via some trade, maybe a second round, maybe a couple of second round picks, they move him. Mm-hmm. Kayvon Looney does rebound. He plays defense. He can play he ain't much of a shooter, but he's a guy that gets gritty down there. So Looney could be a cheaper option for you. I'm not mad at the Kayvon.
I think it's more of
Baines, or Baines, either one of those guys. But we need some defense. We got a lot of guys.
I think we're gonna go for a swing for the fences type deal with somebody, man. We're gonna go for somebody. It's probably gonna be a name, bro. Looney wouldn't be bad. I like that, but they gonna have like $20-25 million still to play with. You know what I'm saying? If they work these things out as far as the trade, and then you sure So I can't say this dude's name. I feel so bad. Think what that was Tasha. Who put in the chat and then sounded it out, man? Sarkeesian. I keep tearing his name up. But the guy we got from the Bulls, $10 million, man. So they sent him out. Then you got the trade exemption and all of that stuff. We could get somebody for like up to $20 million, Q. Yeah, I wish that was true.
Yeah.
Saints Pels lady. They connecting him to the Knicks though. That'd be crazy if Kawhi go to the Knicks.
Pelicans got a lot of bread, man, and listen, DC, they were swinging.
Sadaransky. Thank y'all, family. Thank y'all.
They were swinging for the fences, DC. If you look at this article right here, you see Chris Paul from CBS. The Chris Paul considered $100 million offer from the Pelicans before resigning with the Suns, reported by CBS. So the Pelicans were definitely swinging for the fences.
Well, we would have been a shoo-in for the playoffs, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you bring Chris Paul back, rectify a wrong, and Willie Green is his boy. And I was like, man, I threw that out to the flock. But that almost could have been a reality that he could have came. Now, he would have had an incentive to come back to New Orleans, and with his boy, Willie Green as the coach, he had a lot of influence.
I think it would have worked.
That would have worked really well. That would have been intriguing.
And the city would have embraced him. A lot of people think we got some type of ill will towards Chris Paul. We never was mad at Chris Paul because when he wanted to leave, that was the first time it happened with us with a Hall of Fame type player. But we got it. Katrina happened. The NBA owned our team. We didn't know if we was gonna have a team. Nobody was mad. Nobody was mad. Right. Nobody was mad at Chris Paul for wanting to leave. I actually was pissed off that the Lakers trade didn't go through because we actually would have been a better team with the Lakers trade than the bullshit ass trade we got from the Clippers. But somebody's asking me a question in the chat. Who's that? The Young Blood 46. DC, why do you think the Pels signed Garrett Temple to a 3-year deal? What's going to be his role on the team with the team? I told you last show, brother. I think he's going to be. Everybody wants the Udonis Haslem type. Every young team needs a vet. He's probably going to be the oldest guy on the team, so they paying him basically to kind of be like a player coach. in a sense. Like he's gonna help Kyra, NAW, Brandon Ingram, Zion, all these guys, man. They're younger guys, so they still are learning the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Garrett Temple's been around. He's been on a bunch of different teams. He can understand everything that Willie Green is trying to communicate to these guys, and it's always good to hear it from a guy that you in the battle with. Not that Willie Green isn't, but he right there with you doing everything. You know what I'm saying? And he tells you certain stuff. It impacts a different way. So to me, I'm sure if somebody goes down, they're gonna expect them to step in and play. If a guy like NAW gets hurt, Kyra get hurt, somebody gonna get hurt. So he will get some minutes. And I think he has a decent shot too. He plays okay defense, you know what I'm saying? But he's 35, so and he ain't Chris Paul and all these other people, so you ain't gonna expect a whole bunch out of him at 35. But it's basically just leadership, basically, like other people in the chat were saying. I saw it pop up there. That's what they're paying him for, man. They want him to kind of be, think of Udonis Haslem for the Miami Heat. This is what we trying to get a guy like Garrett Temple to be, and it makes sense when they're talking about how they want to build the identity of the team around the city. Garrett Temple is from New Orleans, so it makes perfect sense. And at first when I heard it, I was like, what the hell? Why they get him and sign him? And then you sit back and you think about it, and we just paying him to be good leadership, man, and kind of guide and mold these guys and help to build a culture that we want this team to embody.
Yes, indeed, man. And moving forward, man, this is a lot of pieces in this, man, and moving around for the Pelicans right now. And as we bring back Didi Louzada, stuff starting to really crystallize here. Some of the coaching staff, from Coach Willie Green adding D'Antoni as a consultant, and then of course Collins as the lead assistant, along with Teaspoon and Freddie V, among others. Strong staff. You can see the vision of what kind of offense they're hoping to run, the defense as well as it comes to focus. So bit by bit, we're starting to kind of see the Pelicans moving forward. And of course, they're not done yet. I still say they're looking to add a big old piece to the starting lineup here. So time will tell, man, moving forward, what they got left, man. Very intriguing.
Roy Jenkins said, but is he a good human? That is a very important question, bro.
That is very important, because you're not getting on the
team. That is number one
human
on the list. You have to be a good human.
That's right.
What is the test for that, Q? How do we test to see if they're a good human?
You got to ask David Griffin that, because he's the one that's responsible for that ideology or ideology, however you want to view it.
No, it's not just David Griffin. We've seen Steve Nash display the same thing. You also got Steve Kerr, talking about good humans. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it somebody else? Did somebody else talk about being good humans?
Well, maybe
wasn't it none other than Trajan Langdon? Talk about these good humans too.
He did say that.
Hey, family, if Reggie is coming, I wouldn't be mad at that. I was just saying I don't want Reggie to be my starting point guard for 82 games. Reggie good. Reggie get buckets, man. That means Kyra going to the G League, though. If we get Reggie, I seen somebody else talking about Dragic. If we get one of them guys, we gonna have to redshirt Kyra, because it don't make sense to have him just sitting there on the active roster. He ain't gonna get no minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm saying. Reggie can score, man. That's one thing you can't take away from Reggie Jackson, is he's a hell of a scorer, man. I mean, when he's healthy, he can do the damn thing. And then there was interest, like this story was reported by Sports Illustrated, about Pelicans having interest in Reggie Jackson. Mm-hmm. And they said serious interest in him. But the Pelicans are doing their due diligence, looking around to see if they can find extra talent to add to the team. So, man, we'll see how it all shakes and breaks, family. But we're going to have to stop it right there. But listen, family, I appreciate y'all for chiming in on this installment of the Pelican Post Game Report. Please feel free to hit upon the like button. Please feel free to subscribe if you're not a subscriber of the show. Please also feel free to share the show in social media, Facebook, Crazy, Twitter, with a lot of the people, a lot of the Pelican faithful are kind of frantic right now about some of the moves that's going on, man. But I think, to be honest with you, man, these moves I'm not mad at these moves, man. I think they're pretty good moves, man. Headed right. I got to give the administrators, Doc Ock and the rest of them, some credit for doing this, man, because
Say
they're
Big
trying to
Q.
right the ship. Go ahead, bro.
On Friday, bro, we're gonna have to pull up some of these clips though, and go at some of these people. We had a lot of stuff to talk about today, but they flaming us in the national media, bro. I know you don't watch a lot of that. I don't watch a
Sure
lot of
don't.
it either. But some of this stuff was coming across my feed, bro. Man, they talking like we the worst organization in the NBA, bro. Miss Gale, she cheap. She don't want to spend no money. Kendra Perkins up there talking
Lies.
crazy.
I'm gonna have to get some.
Man, they
I'm gonna
saying
meet
all
up.
to Zion preparing to leave already. Zion played one season here and a half. He already ready to leave. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's all the moves we made was trash. They act like Devontae Graham wait, how to say my man name? Jonas
You talking about Valanciunas?
Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas. They act like that dude ain't a double guy. 17 and
And
12.
12 and a half. Yeah.
And people acting like we didn't improve over Steven Adams. And if anybody should be sitting up here
9
acting
and
like we
8.
didn't improve, it should be me. How much I kept upping Steven Adams. But I know
Yeah.
Jonas Valanciunas is a big upgrade over Steven Adams. He probably the top 6 or 7 center in the whole league.
Yeah,
So man, we got to touch on that, bro, because we being disrespected, and they was going at David Griffin. So you know, a part of me was feeling real damn good to hear him bashing David Griffin ass. But when they start talking about the Pelicans and Miss Benson, that's when you start getting pissed off, you know. But bro, they was going hard at us, bro, and they don't know what the hell they talking about. That's the thing that was killing me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that December.
They say Devontae Graham is like he worse than Lonzo. He's a chucker. Like, man, what the hell are these dudes talking about? Some who we were saying NAW was as a rookie, just jacking up shots, wild shots, and stuff like that. Devontae Graham not that at all.
He's a chucker.
Yeah, I heard one idiot call him a chucker.
I don't know what that is.
So, you know what a chucker is, Q. What they call a volume score. Somebody who just put up a bunch of shots and they get their points that way.
You mean chucking up a shot? That's what they're
yeah.
Oh, he just
like a volume score. You get numbers because you just took a bunch of shots. The dude took 12 shots a game and had 14 points.
I don't know who's saying that, but Devontae Graham could ball, man. Bottom line, man.
You know what? He played good.
What they talking about?
He played good with closing out games, bro. That's what I realized going back, looking at some highlights and stuff. I think somebody else put it on Twitter, and I was watching a lot of highlights of him. The Brooklyn game when he dropped 40. Man, that dude won that game for them at the end, bro. Hit a 3, late in the game. He ain't got no fear, bro. He hit clutch buckets, bro.
Right.
He needs somebody to help close out games.
Right. His and that's that I would give him that is he does have the closer gene. If anything, he can develop in
clutch gene, brother. Clutch gene. That's what it is.
He got the kid don't have any and no lack of confidence. He'll pull up the shot. And then when he gets hot, he's you can't stop him. I mean, he's not streaky, but when he gets hot, man, you better watch out. He drives to the basket. He hits 84 or 85% of his free throws. I like Graham. Graham is a talented player and a very good player. And in the right system, he can thrive and get even better. Remember, a lot of times ago, with the Hornets, he was in a reserve capacity. He's playing some reserve behind them other guys, and the LaMelo came, and then of course you had Scary Terry out there, and of course Graham was odd man out. But in the right system, which the Pelicans will provide, Graham will grow. So even though I'm not happy Lonzo gone, he gone. But Graham, I'm happy we got a guy like Graham here to help with buckets. He'll get a lot of wide open shots when them trying to double Zion and BI, man. He will make them pay. So I mean, these moves satisfy me. I'm happy with these moves. I just want to see them complete the whole damn thing. We'll see.
And I got the beat on my desk like Big Q used to do.
I don't beat on my desk.
And he wants to be here, Q. The boy just found out he was getting traded to the Pelicans. He already in New Orleans, Q. He already here. So that's how you know you got a good desk, when you can beat on it like that and they don't break. Q was breaking them desks and shit.
I'll never be on my desk. I don't know what this guy talking about. I never did that. He just
And I ain't never ate Jamaican curry.
Oh, that's a damn lie. All right, fam, we're going to get out on that one. I'd like to thank y'all for joining the show tonight. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all for being here. And we'll be back Friday stream.
Look,
And
Simply Tasha said, yes, you do, Q. They know. She been down since the beginning, bro. Big Q, when Big Q was beating on desks and shit. When he get mad.
y'all ain't mentioned one. Y'all can't tell me one time I beat on the desk.
Go pull up all them old shows. Y'all go see.
All right, fam. Much love to y'all, man. We'll be back on our Friday show, man. Friday stream. And we'll cover all the latest Pelican news and notes and any more moves the Pelicans is making to try to complete the back end.
Thank you, Jason, bro.
We'll
thank you,
thank y'all for being here. And DC will see you Friday stream. Much love to
Wait, hold on. King Butler said, appreciate the updates, Big Guillory and D1.
All right, y'all. Much love to the flock, man. I salute the flock.
Y'all, man.
Appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all later. Go Pels.
Peace.